Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to really get into a phrase you might have heard, one that feels quite ancient and, well, deep. Deep calls unto deep.
Mm-hmm. It definitely has that resonance, doesn't it?
It does. And we're looking specifically at a metaphysical take on this, drawing from Dr. Roy E. Richmond's work, Deep Calls Unto Deep, a metaphysical understanding of spirit.
Exactly. So our goal here, our mission for this deep dive is really to unpack Dr. Richmond's view. What is our fundamental nature? He argues it's spirit.
Right.
And how does that work? How do we connect on that level? And maybe most interestingly, what does that imply for unity and understanding?
It sounds like a shortcut almost to understanding something really core about human connection, moving beyond maybe the more traditional interpretations.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Okay, so to start us off, what's the absolute foundational idea here? What does Dr. Richmond say about who we actually are?
Well, the core premise, and it's quite a shift, is that we're not, physical beings with a bit of spirit trying to get more spiritual. The idea is we are spirit, always have been, eternal, holy, one with the source, fundamentally.
Wow, okay, that's big.
It is. And understanding that, living from that understanding opens up what Dr. Richmond calls divine mind awareness.
Divine mind awareness. Okay, so how does that lead to this idea of divine resonance that's mentioned?
Right. So divine resonance flows directly from that awareness. It's when the deep part of you, that sacred core, your sacred self, as the publication puts it, responds to the exact same thing in someone else. It's described almost like breath-to-breath communication.
Breath-to-breath. So not words, not louder.
Precisely. It completely bypasses the intellect. It's spirit talking, communicating directly with spirit. Awareness to awareness. Sacred self recognizing sacred self.
It's not something you think about there.
No, it's presented as more of an inherent recognition, a state of being recognized.
I think many people listening might have felt something like this. Like maybe you're in a crowd and you just feel this pull towards someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
An inexplicable draw. And maybe you even find out later they felt the same thing looking back at you.
Right. And Dr. Richmond's perspective is clear. That's not just, random chance or coincidence.
What is it then, according to the source?
It's spirit in you, resonating with spirit in them. It's the divine mind active in both, vibrating, essentially on the same frequency, the frequency of, truth, love, light.
A kind of nonverbal knowing.
Exactly, at the very deepest level. And there's a really great analogy in the text to help grasp this.
Oh, yeah.
It uses music.
Ah, okay. Tell us about that.
So imagine you have a piano, perfectly tuned, and nearby there's a violin also in tune.
Got it.
If you strike the A string on the piano, really, the standard 440 hertz pitch, the A string on the violin just sitting there will actually start to vibrate sympathetically on its own.
Without anything touching it.
Without anything touching it. Just pure resonance because they're tuned to the same frequency.
That's a powerful image.
Yeah.
How does that connect back to us?
Well, the connection drawn is that the instruments just need to be in tune. They don't need physical contact.
Right.
And it's presented as the same for people. When someone is really living from that divine mind awareness, the voice of spirit within them sort of resonates outwards.
Okay.
And if someone else nearby is also awake, also attuned in that way, their spirit responds.
Like the violin string.
Exactly, like strings singing to each other across the space. And that, according to this work, is the real meaning behind deep calls unto deep.
So it's suggesting a connection that completely bypasses our usual ways of understanding each other, our thoughts, our words.
Yeah, it operates on this fundamental level of shared spiritual reality. It's quite a profound way to think about how we connect.
And this isn't just like a purely mental or spiritual idea. The source mentions physical sensations too.
It does. Think about when you get chills listening to someone speak. Or goosebumps.
Yeah, that happens.
And it's not necessarily because what they're saying is intellectually brilliant, although it might be, but it feels like it comes from somewhere.
Deeper.
From their spirit, maybe.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
That physical reaction, the chills, the goosebumps, is your sacred spirit self, physically responding to the voice of spirit being expressed through that other person.
So when someone speaks what the source calls unconcealed truth, it hits differently.
It stirs something deep inside. And the interpretation here isn't that it's just, getting emotional. It's described as remembrance.
Remembrance of what?
Spirit remembering spirit. Your spirit recognizing the spirit in the other person, speaking its own language, essentially. A deep fundamental recognition.
Okay, taking this out further then, If this resonance is possible between individuals, what about on a larger scale? What are the implications if lots of people experience this divine resonance?
Well, the vision laid out is pretty transformative. It suggests that if, or perhaps when, people generally awaken to this and align with this divine frequency.
The barriers we put up between ourselves, things like language differences, religious doctrines, national divisions, they would naturally start to dissolve.
Dissolve. How? Not through argument or negotiation.
No, not through force or even conscious effort in that way. It's because, as Dr. Richmond puts it, spirit only knows oneness.
Spirit only knows oneness.
So if we're operating from that level, the divisions just don't compute. They don't exist on that plane.
Imagine the kind of harmony that implies.
Exactly. The publication uses this imagery of like a great cosmic instrument, all the strings vibrating together in perfect harmony.
Wow.
Humanity would live, move, and have our being in perfect union with one another and with Source. That's the quote.
That's quite a vision.
It's presented as the true harmony of creation. It's the constant call of spirit, always there, always speaking. Deep calls unto deep. It argues for a unity that's already inherent, waiting to be recognized, not something we have to build from scratch.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today, the core idea we've explored is really this. We're fundamentally spiritual beings.
Right. And capable of this incredibly profound connection that doesn't rely on words or intellect. A resonance.
Yeah, resonance that goes beyond the physical, beyond just thinking.
So maybe something for you listening to reflect on. Think about your own life. Have you had moments that feel like this divine resonance, those times you felt an inexplicable connection?
Or just a deep sense of recognition with someone, even a stranger, that you couldn't quite explain intellectually. And maybe a final thought to take away, something to chew on. What might actually change for you day to day?
How so?
Well, what if you consciously tried to approach encounters, conversations, even just seeing people on the street with this awareness that deep calls unto deep?
Meaning you're looking to connect with that sacred self within them.
Yeah, not just engaging with their personality or their opinions or their intellect, but seeking that deeper resonance.
How might that perspective shift your understanding of connection, of the people around you, maybe even the world?
It's definitely a powerful thought to carry forward from this exploration.